and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to give you a little quick update of why my background is basically my sauna, and you can see right here that there's books piled up. Well, there's a bunch of books piled up, and that's because I am redoing my bookshelves. So I've sold the bookshelves that I used to have, and my husband and I are working on putting new ones up in that space. So I'm not sure how long that'll take. It might just be this video that you have this as the background. It might be a few videos like that, but I wanted to just let you know that, hey, I do have bookshelves. They're just, not there currently. And so this is going to be my background for a little bit. But anyway, today's topic of the video is my December wrap up. So all of the books that I have read this December, I am actually really glad with how many books I read. Especially because December, it's a busy time of the year, holidays, family, all that stuff. So very excited that I read this many to finish off the year. But let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first book that I finished in December, I started it at the end of November, but it was The Demon King by Cinda Williams Chima. And this is the first book in the series, the Seven Realms series. So I really enjoyed this book. This was just super good, super introduction to the series. I loved Han and Reza and just everything that transpired. And I had an inkling of kind of like the ending, that like little plot twist or whatever. And so I was really happy that I was right at the end of it. But basically this book takes place in this fictional setting of the Seven Realms. And you've got all kinds of different countries on this continent. But one specific thing on this continent that makes it magical is that there are wizards. And so you've got Reza, who is the princess, who is wanting to be something more than a princess, but also wants to help out the citizens of the Fells. And then you've got Han, who he's got a mother and a sister, but he's basically like an orphan. He travels back and forth between his mother's house. He does little side jobs. I guess you could call it side jobs, or used to do side jobs, ran like a gang, I guess you could say. But then also has partially a family in the clans. So his and Reza's destinies kind of cross paths. And so you see that for a small tidbit in this one. But it gets bigger and bigger as the series goes. So this is the first one I read and finished. Real excited to continue, which, by the way, I read the second one as well in December. And this, I really enjoyed it. This had more of like a school setting, because most of the book takes place while they're at school. And then of course, Reza and Han's paths cross again. So more twists, more turns. Han, I can't really say a whole lot since this is the second one, but super good second installment to the series, and I plan to read the third one in January, so stay tuned for my thoughts on that. The next book I read in December was In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. This is kind of like a Groundhog Day trope story, but it's a romance. So basically, what's her name? May. So May has a huge crush on this guy. She's had this crush on him since she was like 13 or whatever. And her family goes and spends Christmas with her family's bestest of friends, and that includes their children. So they think that May is going to get with the other brother, but really she's got a crush on the older brother. So it starts out where they're like leaving and she is not real happy with what took place beforehand and then on their way out and everything like that. So she basically asks the universe for a redo. And so she gets this redo until she can get it right, basically. Hence the Groundhog Day. But it's super cute, super I love the holiday atmosphere of it, and it was the perfect read for Christmas. So I would definitely recommend picking this up. I'd probably recommend picking it up if you are still wanting more of the holiday spirit around, or if you want to wait until the holidays come back around again. But I enjoyed reading this during the Christmas time, and it was great. So you definitely need to check it out. The next book I read was The Kingdom of Sweets by Erica Johansson. This book, let me tell you, it is dark. Like, I didn't realize how dark this was going to be. So this is a Nutcracker retelling. And I vaguely remember what the Nutcracker was about. So if you know more about it than this one, I think it's like pretty different, to be fair. So, but it's really dark. I enjoyed it, but there was things about it that I was like, oh my gosh, it surprised me. It was like, I can't believe it was that dark. So it was a super good read. It's an interesting Christmas retelling with, especially how dark it is. And you know, with Christmas, it's supposed to be more upbeat and joyful and happy. And this was not. Like, I mean, it had happy parts to it, but it was just dark again. Like, wow. But the author wrote it fantastically. Great wording, great. It's really atmospheric, all of that stuff. So yeah, please pick this up if you want something dark but yet jolly at the same time. The next book that I picked up was The Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanson. I apologize if I pronounced your name wrong. This is a fantasy romance, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the plot line, the fantasy plot line a lot. I did enjoy the romance plot line as well. But there was some things that I wanted. It didn't give me that feeling like I had with ACOTAR, I guess you could say, and some of the other romances that I've read, where it's like, I want the person's perspective that you're reading from. I want the other person to say something that just kills you inside or brings that, I don't even know what. I can't explain the feeling, but there wasn't any of that. He said one thing. So I'm hoping in the next book that there's more, because this is dual perspective between Taliesin and Alaric. It's dual perspectives. So I really enjoyed this. I think the story is phenomenal. I think there's potential for the romance to get even better, because it was good. Don't get me wrong, it was good, but I wanted more. So, but if you wanted to pick this up, I would definitely recommend it. I don't know when the second one's coming out, but I am excited for when the second one does. And finally, the last book that I read was The Empire of Exiles by Erin M. Evans. This was very surprising. It's kind of like a fantasy mystery. And so it's got some preludes to like the beginning part of it that takes you back in time. which then helps you solve or try to figure out the mystery that they're trying to solve in this book. So I really enjoyed this. All the twists, all the turns, it surprised me. The fantastical elements of it was very unique and different. And so I'm really excited to pick up the second one once that one comes out, which I think comes out in April. But yeah, this was super good. I'm very happy with it. And I don't even remember how fast I read it. I thought I read it pretty fast. Because it's just, you can't put it down because you want to try to figure out that mystery. So really good book. Can't wait for the second one. So if you're wanting that fantastical mystery, this is the one for you. There you have it. Those were all the books that I read in December. Let me know down below in the comments what some of the books were that you read in December. Maybe we can chat about them. But like, subscribe, and don't forget, be good people.
When you feel it's hopeless, when you think that